and we're sitting here as brokers. Like, how do we protect ourselves? How
Well, that's
do
a
we
good
protect
question.
our
Yeah.
business?
Can you?
Well,
Mr. Positive, can you?
well, the protection comes. I think protection in any business comes from barriers to entry, and the barriers to entry in say commercial is almost the lack of information.
Yeah, so that was my next question, was about the commercial and private lending, right? So if we kind of agree that maybe it's too late for resi, it's going to be it's already systemised. The big banks are just going to gobble up their own customers again, and away you go. But I know a lot of your time is in commercial and private lending, not so much resi at all. I agree with you. I mean, the resi lending works because all the data is already given to it.
The policies are already published.
That's right, and the parameters and this and that, and But with private, man, it's like it feels like a smoke and mirrors back door. You're trying to meet someone on a cold winter's night in a lane that's all dark at like 2 a.m.
Is it a memory, or you just made it up?
to get money, because these guys just,
well, they're not sharks. It's not like
no,
that.
I don't mean that. I mean it's just hidden.
It's the same in commercial. It's not just it's the same in a big bank commercial, right? No, you can say, oh well, their policies are a little more transparent, but not always. Are they telling you on their website? Do they tell you if you want to buy a property and just use the rental income, what the multiple is for the interest cover? No.
Yeah.
No, it's not published. They're all different.
Yeah,
some banks have different for you got a retail client or a wholesale client, or what, who's the client?
Yeah.
And then they change the number. I'm not saying that can't be written down and that it's not written down and accessible, but right now it's not easily accessible.
Yeah, but if you talk about, in my head, 3 different levels, there's the retail home loan banking, which is very much, I don't care what anyone says, your relationships only go a certain distance, even with your BDM or your bank contact. It's very much, sorry, there's the parameters, where you go.
Yeah.
Right? The only thing you can kind of do is, can you put this at the top of the pile?
I give you a certain amount of volume, I'm going to call in a favour kind of thing.
Yeah, rather than,
but
can we stretch this
the
rate?
thing is about when everyone escalates, there's no escalation.
No, that's right.
When everyone's urgent,
so
right?
You got that side. Then you got like big bank commercial lending, but then you got private lending. And private lending was what I was referring to, in that it is very much, mate, half the time with a private lender, and you tell me if this is right or not, I think they make it up as they go. And if you take them a deal, they'll kind of go, oh yeah, we'll charge you 10 for that one. And you take them another deal, oh mate, that's 11.5 every day of the week. It's like,
well, I mean,
come on.
I don't think so.
Come on. Okay, well, at the very least, even if it's there.
I don't think it's as disjointed as that.
No, but you can definitely say sharpen your rate. You can't say that to ANZ.
No, I'm not saying that. Well, you can to ANZ.
Well, yeah, but not really.
Yeah. But even I know you were trying to get into private lending, and that's cool. But even when you're negotiating on a business loan where there is a risk margin attached to a base rate,
sure,
the parameters for the establishment of that risk margin are not typically published by the bank to its customers.
So you're talking about business lending, normal Big Four banking.
Yeah. So
but that's not residential home.
I've got a base rate of 4%, BBS. And then we're putting a margin.
Sure, there's a margin on it.
3.7.
Yeah.
Right. Why?
Yeah.
Where's the 3.7 come from?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's 24 factors that we take into consideration. What are they? Oh, they're internal factors.
Yeah.
So.
But that's still different to residential home lending.
Sure, very different. And then you've got, say, private, or what we would call private, but non-bank funding, I suppose. They do have parameters. They do have, a case of we can go to a maximum LVR on a residential security in Sydney versus we're not going to lend in certain areas of Australia, right? Because they are still backed by large finance houses, right?
Well,
like
they
JP
can
Morgan
be.
And Deutsche, and
Yeah,
so
they can be. They can also be backed by private funds.
Sure, that's a different story. They've raised the funds themselves, or they've got investors.
Yeah, that's right. And those guys, there's nothing printed on a website.
No.
There's no AI anything there, mate. It's like who you know. And they're the guys you meet in the back street, and they go, yeah, okay, my guys will fund that deal. You know, the
I don't know where
deal's
you're getting
kind
this
of
back street from.
well,
I don't know
it
which
is.
back
Well, it's
street.
back street in the sense of the information.
It's not always readily
That's what
available.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Like, you've
yeah.
got to go and sniff it out. You've got to go and find it.
Well, and as a
And you usually
consumer, it's
get it
very
from-
difficult to find that.
Yeah, and you got to get it from, it's really person to person, as opposed to going online and doing a Google search or an AI agent search.
Yeah.
I think we're a long way from that aspect
Mm.
disappearing with AI.
Well, I think yes, exactly, and that's if we get to where are we going to protect ourselves as a brokerage? Even if you're a residential broker right now, I think specialized knowledge is where it is. at,
Definitely.
right, and I'm not going to say it's secret knowledge; it's specialized knowledge. So, and that doesn't mean that can't be interrogated or that we can't use AI to do that still.
Sure.
Right. It's just the mechanics of getting it done are more complex. So, for example, the mechanics, the operational, getting a self-managed super fund commercial loan
Mm-hmm.
is much more complex, right?
Yep, totally is.
Now, that's not to say that home loans can't be complex, but the systems are better for home loans. They've been built.
Yeah, because they do millions of them.
Right. So the pathways only maybe need one or two changes for the complexity rather than, as I said, the SMSF loan. And let's not forget that the big banks don't do SMSF lending anymore.
Mm.
So no one's investing millions of dollars
they're
in
not-
building those
no.
pathways for that complex loan. Yeah.
They only go where to me, it's like roads and highways, right? The big highways are there because that's where everyone's traveling, right? And you
Yes.
get onto a back road and it ends up, 2 lanes with some white lines, and there's white line only in the middle. Then it's really, well, in Queensland anyway, no white lines, one strip of blacktop if you're lucky, with 2 tire marks either side where you got to pull off,
With
and
one
then
or
it goes
2 foot
to
drop
then it
on the
goes
other
to
side.
dirt. They
Yes,
spend the money
that's
where
right.
they perceive the traffic is,
Of course.
and
Yeah.
it's no different on this thing with loans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just not going to bother. They go, well, we've got this many home loans, or we got this much that does SMSF. Oh, they don't even care.
No, that's not as a percentage of the book. Who
No.
cares? But as a broker, it might make up all of your business
That's
if you
exactly
decide to
right.
specialize. If you're,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about single operator businesses. Not because as we talked about before, maybe what will happen is the larger money will get consolidated in the larger aggregation
Sure.
/ brokerages.
Yep.
Maybe. And then if that's the case, then who's left? And who's left in the landscape is the single operator brokers who make their money out of doing some home loan and some commercial and a bit of this, and some asset finance and what have you. And so how do they protect themselves? Because let's just say that one of the big four says, well, if you're going to be with the small aggregator, then we're not giving you access to our
Yeah.
product. And as a broker, you say, well, okay, if I don't have access to that, because now people are using AI agents to get ANZ and NAB and what have you, what can I do? How do I extend the longevity of my business? And maybe that specialization in commercial, private, something that's either complex
Yeah,
or the information is not readily available.
that's right. I agree.
Yeah.
You've got to, it's a bit like being a GP going to a specialist surgeon, right? Orthopedic
Mhm.
or, brain or whatever, heart. And I'm not belittling, I'm not bringing GPs into the AI, but I'm saying the value generally increases the more specialized you get. And I think I can see the same thing happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. But it comes down to the information that's available. You got to remember that the AI agent at the moment can only access the information that's available,
Yeah, that's right.
and that you allow it to.
There's no 2 a.m. back road dark meetings, Todd. They
No,
get scared.
That's right. Your
Yeah.
agent is not
He doesn't go out then.
not peering
No.
through the darkness and wondering what's happening with ANZ. They're straight into ANZ.
That's right.
Or to NAB or whoever. But yeah, I think if anything, we can use AI. And I know I've got ChatGPT here, but what I find interesting about doing research with it is to find different ways of doing things, but also to look at risks. And one of the risks is which industries are at most risk. You
Or
know?
which are at most risk.
Yeah. So I know we've looked at it before, but if we let me see, let me just have a look.
Right, push your eyeglasses
Put my
on.
eyes on, and I think we've already done it here. Top 5 AI risk industries, which we've looked at, and if we say number 1, admin and clerical, and this is not what broking is, but a lot of like data entry.
Yeah, but it's not broking in a sense, but it's processing.
Yeah. So you could say, well, those jobs are at risk, but they're also an opportunity for brokerages to use AI to automate their tasks,
Yeah.
to save their own costs. Legal services number 2.
Yeah, paralegal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Document review and summarization. I mean, I don't know if you've used this sort of stuff, but I mean, we've taken finance company product guides and put it into Notebook LM.
Oh, yeah.
It's come out with a summary in 5 minutes, and it's come out with its own podcast
You're right.
in 11 minutes.
Is that all?
A podcast.
Hey, I would expected 10.
I know. A podcast about a product guide. Like, it's ridiculous.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, well,
Did you use it to, when you had those nights you couldn't sleep?
I did listen to it. The soothing tones of LVRs. So,
That's fantastic. I couldn't think of anything better to listen to than a podcast on product guides.
You don't live in my house. Accounting and finance. Accounting and finance. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times really they're talking about accountants and those finance functions rather than broking. But don't discount the fact that a lot of the things that we do are data oriented.
Oh, of course they are.
And
Like,
so all we're doing is, and when
Yeah.
people, I repeat myself, but when people say you need the human interaction because some brokers know what they're doing, not all brokers know what they're doing, right? Not every broker in the industry right now knows exactly where to go
no.
with every home loan that you give them automatically in their heads. They still need the software,
Yeah.
and that's just data. So okay. Oh well, there's also some people say, well, there's no such thing as a vanilla deal. Well, that's why they'll train the AI agent for the complex
Vanilla deal.
deals.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't fit this 95% of these parameters,
Yeah, but
then we'll get you to talk to
Okay,
someone.
there's no such thing as a vanilla deal. I mean, I kind of argue that point, right? I mean, yeah, okay. Everyone is different, and right, someone might earn 80,000, someone might earn 81,000. Does that mean the deal's substantially different? You know what I mean? They still want to buy a house for 800.
It's still parameters.
Of course it is.
It's parameters and searching.
There
So,
might be different data inputs, but the process is very much the same, and the parameters are the same, and the outcome is the same. They want to buy a house or they want to get a loan to do something.
And also, okay, maybe it's the ones that can't get through are the ones that you're left with. So
Sure.
So there's nothing to stop a bank setting up its models to say, here are the parameters we'll accept,
Yeah.
right? You've got a PAYG job, yep, 3 months. You've got a business, yeah, we want 2 years worth of financials.
But wouldn't that be better as a broker if that happened anyway? Because then the ones that go through. The ones that don't, you can straight away know that they're the ones you get to work with and find a solution. Because finding the solution when is not easily findable is where the value is going to come from.
Well, then you've got a discussion about what are you getting paid for. So, because eventually, if a bank is saying the share of our broker-oriented loans is less,
Yeah.
then maybe we'll stop paying.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to continue in the business,
Well, someone will want to lend though, right?
Sure, someone. So either the industry consolidates and there's less brokers, which not always a bad thing necessarily, as long as it's not us. But,
Yeah. Well, as long as we're the last broker standing, that's
well, I mean,
fine.
it's like coffee shops and gyms, could we do with less? Probably. It doesn't mean that I'm advocating against the industry at all. Fully support everyone learning and growing and running their own business.
It's coming. It's coming.
But
right?
there will be a time when there's going to be less. And then if that's the case and the payment model gets changed, let's just say,
Yeah.
how are you going to get an income? And one of the ways is to start charging for it.
Yeah.
And then you have to say, what am I charging for?
Yeah.
Because if it's specialized knowledge that can't be accessed,
Yeah.
then you have to show that you've got that specialized knowledge.
Yeah.
And maybe that part, there's those, if maybe we just wrap up with, if we're still here, how are we protecting ourselves?
Yeah.
And aggregators have been talking about brokers diversifying for so long. Diversification is the key, et cetera, et cetera.
They're resistant to do that though because it's.
Well, it's also knowledge.
That's right.
It's hard. It's difficult to learn all that stuff when it's unpublished.
Yeah.
Right? How are you going to learn about business loans if you do one every 3 months?
Yeah.
But maybe the pathway to longevity is, first of all, using AI to your benefit for automation and workflows and what have you. And secondly, having a look at, can I specialize in commercial or private or SMSF, or is there some way that I can branch out from what I'm doing today and create a niche?
Become a surgeon.
Yeah, become a surgeon. Yeah, exactly. To protect my business from a technology that I have no control over when
That's right.
When bigger players have got more money to spend and are happy to spend it.
Yeah.
At the moment, that's the way that I see us creating more value for clients, but also extending the life of the business.
And the other way I reckon is the do more dark street deals, Todd.
I'm worried about you.
Hey?
You said
Hey?
dark streets and back streets.
Yeah, back streets, middle of the night. Get your
Concerns me.
information where no one else can get their
I
information.
can't do that. I'm asleep.
Hey?
I'm asleep by 8:30.
That's the trick. Information that the AI can't get a hold of.
All right.
Yeah.
I've had enough now.
Yeah. Nice chatting.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah. Good.